Here we back again, man. Now, as you can see, take a look up on the screen. The military government in Niger has shut down the airspace in anticipation of a military intervention. The military government in Niger has closed the airspace as the deadline to reinstate the president has passed. Armed forces stand ready as the West African country defies the threat of military intervention by the regional bloc. Flight tracking website Flight Radar 24 is showing that there are currently no aircrafts in Niger's skies. The West African group of countries, ECOWAS, had earlier warned that it could use force if President Mohamed Bazoum was not reinstated on Sunday. A junta spokesperson says Niger's armed forces are ready to defend the country. The military takeover has been internationally condemned, including by the former colonial power France and the rest of the European Union, as well as the United Nations and the United States. Now, as you can see, take a look up on the screen, France has updated their travel advisory from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. As you can see, they have given a code red for Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, all three former colonies that have recently had coup d'etats and have cut ties with the French government. In essence, you can say these are three nations that are currently in rebellion against the French government, and the French Ministry of Foreign Affairs has given a code red travel advisory to all three capitals. Niger's military rulers announced on Sunday that they had closed the country's airspace, and they had warned that any attempt to violate it would be met with an energetic and immediate response. Niger has also deployed additional troops on the border between Nigeria and Benin. Niger closed its airspace on Sunday until further notice, citing the threat of military intervention from a regional bloc after the coup leaders rejected the deadline to reinstate the country's overthrown president. And I guess this is a statement from the military government. They said this: in the face of the threat of military intervention that is becoming more apparent, Nigerian airspace is closed effective from today. A junta representative said in a statement on national TV on Sunday evening. He said that there had been a pre-deployment of troops in 2 Central African countries in preparation for an intervention, but he did not give details. He went on to say, Niger's armed forces and all of our defense and security forces, backed by the unfailing support of our people, are ready to defend the integrity of our territory, the representative said. The deadline arrived Sunday for Niger's military junta to reinstate the country's ousted president, but the West Africa regional bloc that has threatened a military intervention faces prominent appeals to pursue a more peaceful means. In the capital, the coup leaders appeared at a stadium rally where a chicken decorated in the colors of former colonizer France was beheaded. Oh shit. Let's continue. Hours before Sunday's deadline, hundreds of youths joined the security forces in the darkened streets in the capital to stand guard at a dozen roundabouts until the morning, checking cars for weapons and heeding the junta's calls to watch out for foreign intervention and foreign spies. Now, take a look up on the screen. This is part of a statement that was given out, I believe, sometime today by the military government in Niger, and they said this: a foreign power is preparing to attack Niger from a Central African state in collaboration with ECOWAS and armed terrorist groups. Any state from which a military action is directed against Niger will be considered as a co-belligerent. Any attempt to violate the airspace will be met with a forceful and instantaneous response. Now, hold up, man. One thing I want to know, right? If the intelligence in Niger has gathered that ECOWAS is working in collaboration with armed terrorist groups, wait, hold up. They told us that the Western powers, particularly the United States and France, they told us that they were fighting against the armed terrorist groups. So why are the armed terrorist groups now working in collaboration with the Western powers to fight against the military junta in Niger? It really makes you think on who is really supporting and who is really fighting against the so-called armed terrorist groups. Like I already told you in my last few videos, man, in my opinion, I believe this so-called fight against terror, the fight against the armed terrorist groups in West Africa, it's really just a cover-up for their true intentions, which is to maintain access to the uranium and gold within that region. And as long as there is instability in the region, as long as there is a fight against terror in the region, that gives them a never-ending access and a never-ending excuse to constantly deploy troops and constantly maintain a military force nearby where the natural resources are located and continue to pop up. That's just my assessment as just a regular black man living in the United States, man. That's just me as a regular black man whose brain works at a decent level. I'm not a political analyst. I'm not inside the State Department. I don't have access to the intelligence agency in Niger. I'm just a regular black man providing my opinion, bro. That's all. Now let's continue. Earlier, thousands of junta supporters flocked to a stadium in the capital, cheering on the decision not to stand down by Sunday following the paragraph on the 26th of July that toppled the government of Mohamed Bazoum. Niger last week revoked the military cooperation agreements with France, which has between 1,000 and 1,500 troops currently inside the country. Any military intervention could be complicated by a promise from the juntas in neighboring Mali and Burkina Faso to come to Niger's defense if needed, saying that any military intervention against the new military rulers in Niger would be regarded as a declaration of war against them. And now take a look up on the screen. Divisions as the ECOWAS military threat fails to play out. As the deadline to restore Niger's president passes, strong ECOWAS reaction to the Niger coup d'etat now appears divided. All eyes are on the next move by the West African leaders who vowed to attack the coup leaders in Niger if they fail to free the detained president and revert back to a democratically elected government. The deadline for the threat of force involving troops from ECOWAS was on Sunday. By the late evening, no sign of a military intervention in Niger was apparent. Now, according to Niger intelligence, they said that there are some troops that have been pre-deployed and they are now at a state of war. I already told you the president of Burkina Faso, sometime a few days ago, he had already raised the alert level of his troops to a state of war. The French Foreign Ministry has declared a code red in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. And it would make ECOWAS really look weak. ECOWAS would look very weak if after all that beating on your chest, after you talking about you was ready to go to war, you was ready to mobilize, and now you gave it till Sunday, and now they called your bluff, and now you looking weak, you looking soft. So now it's not a good look, man. It's not a good look for the Western powers and their Western puppets. I'm telling you, it's not a good look. It's not a good look at all. Now let's continue. While some observers say the bloc's hardline stance was prompted by the Western allies, the United States and France in particular, ECOWAS's moves reflect a different approach of its new chairman, Tinubu, and they crystallize the fear of member state leaders who do not want their militaries getting their own ideas. I told you, I said the same exact thing in my video the other day. A large part of the reason why certain governments in ECOWAS are having a hardline stance is because they don't want the generals in their own military to begin exchanging ideas. Now let's continue. Coups are really carried out in isolation, especially when there are similar experiences, structures, and institutions in neighboring countries. I said the same exact thing. I said the same exact thing as this brother right here. The militaries in the region, they exchange intelligence, so democratic administrations are likely worried about the possibility of their own soldiers engaging in similar acts. I said the same exact thing, bro. Great minds think alike, man. Great minds think alike. I should be a goddamn political analyst. I'm telling you. Let's continue. As the threat of a regional war dangles in the air, countries have scrambled to pick a side in what is shaping up to be a major showdown, with wealthier coastal economies on one side and their landlocked military-led counterparts on the other. Oh my God, bro. It's like the slave trade all over again. It's like, yo, I'm telling you, I feel like I just stepped into a time machine and I'm back in 1786, bro, with all the goddamn, I feel like I just stepped into a time machine and I'm back in the goddamn 18th century with all this goddamn conflict on the West African coast. Oh my God, let's continue. The military governments in Mali and Burkina Faso, they have called ECOWAS's bluff, saying an armed intervention in Niger will be met with force. Guinea also sided with the coup leaders. All three countries, plus Niger, are suspended from ECOWAS and form part of a military-led belt spanning Africa's Sahel from Guinea in the west to Sudan in the east. Oh my God, bro. Oh my God. The ancient West African Sahelian states are reuniting, bro. Yo, the ancient Sahelian kingdoms are reuniting. Let's continue. In recent regional developments, Algeria repeatedly opposed any military intervention. Meanwhile, Chad confirmed it would never intervene militarily in Niger. After Nigeria, Benin also will not intervene militarily in Niger. The president leans towards a more peaceful and diplomatic solution. Man, this shit crazy. Let's continue. As you can see, take a look up on the screen. There was a massive rally today, I believe, that took place in the capital in a big major stadium. Like, I believe it's like 30,000 capacity. A mass rally in the capital in support of the military government. One in a series of large events in the capital offering support over the last several days. It's crazy stuff going on, man. Crazy shit going on, bro. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. You know your boy staying on top of it, man. You know your brother staying on top of it, man. You know I got to, bro. You know I got to. You know I'm standing in solidarity with my francophone brothers. I got love for my brothers around the world, but I got extra love for my francophone brothers because we share a common enemy. We share a common struggle. I'm telling you, when it comes to my francophone brothers, bro, I'm riding, bro. I'm riding forever. I'm riding forever. I'm riding till the wheels fall off when it comes to my francophone brothers. We got a common enemy. The same white boy that's attacking you, he attacked my forefathers. He attacked your forefathers. Bro, this beef is forever. This beef is everlasting. This beef is eternal. It's never gonna end. I got love for my brothers in Niger. I got love for my brothers in francophone West Africa. I love y'all boys. I'm riding for y'all boys. You already know what time it is, man. Anyways, bro, it's your boy Nevercard Desaline back in the building. Yes, indeed. Cash out up on the screen, and I'm gone. Peace.
Reincarnated, I'm back in original fashion. I left on a horse and came back in that ass, and I left with abundance and came back to famine. We used to be pyramids, now we be rapping. Look how the mighty have fallen. Used to be running, now we be walking. When you be cooning, that's when they applauded. Selling your soul, your sons and your daughter. Gotta come up in this shit, they stuck in the mix. Really, my heart it be breaking. That's why I'm stacking that paper and handle my business. Pass it down in generation. Talking about money and power and building a nation. That's a deadly combination. Never be watching the TV, they pushing agendas, falsifying information. Know they got malice intentions. Step in the room and I'm feeling the tension. Enemy watching, he blocking my vision. Pay for the check cause I need my redemption. Building my kingdom, I need it protected. Ready for war like a young Money Congo. Never decided the team is the motto. Up in the crib and I'm whipping up waffles. Up in the crib and I'm smoking gelato. I'm chilling, I'm taking my pain and make it ambition. I'm blessed by the gods, but I ain't religious. I came for the power, they came for the bitch. They making no hourly wage, I got business. This shit is an art and they could never be taught. Selling my soul, I can never be bought. Play with my money, I see you ain't caught. Run to the check and I do it for sport. Babylon falling, I go to the source. Packing my luggage and go overseas. Shorty be with me and she so elite. Shorty be chocolate, I'm calling her Hershey. Secret intelligence probably gon' murk me. Don't fuck with brands cause nigga I'm Haitian. Say the wrong shit and get smack in their faces.